Thank you. Welcome back. This next poem, been around for a while. I probably heard it back in grade school. Came across it again in a book entitled The Stories Behind the Songs. In this particular case, it's the story behind the poem. And I'd like to relate that story to you before I recite it. Seems there was a master craftsman who built beautiful violins. And he sold one of his violins to a couple that had some children. And that couple had the dream that their children would be able to take violin lessons and be able to master that beautiful instrument. And so he did. But unfortunately, none of them took a liking to it. And for many years, that violin sat in the corner getting dusty. Many years later, that violin was put up for auction. And the auctioneer had no idea that the master craftsman who built that instrument was out in the audience. And by now, if you're thinking the touch of the master's hand, you're absolutely correct. First published in 1951 by Myra Welch. It was battered and scarred, the auctioneer thought. It was hardly worth his while to waste much time on the old violin, but he held it up with a smile. "What am I bidding, good folks?" he cried. "Who start the bidding for me? $1, who make it two? $2, who make it three? $3 once? $3 twice." Going for three, but no. From the back of the room, a gray-haired man came up and picked up the bow. He wiped the dust from the old violin and tightened up the loose strings and played a melody so pure and sweet, like a caroling angel sings. The music stopped, and the auctioneer, in a voice that was quiet and low, said, "Now what am I bid for the old violin?" And he held it up with the bow. $1,000, who make it two? 2,000, who make it three? 3,000 once? 3,000 twice. "Going and gone," said he. The crowd cheered, but some of them cried, "We do not understand what changed its worth." Swift came the reply, "The touch of the master's hand." For many a man whose life's out of tune and battered and scarred with sin is auctioned off cheap by the thoughtless crowd. Much like the old violin, a mess of pottage, a glass of wine, a game, and he travels on. He's going once, he's going twice, he's going, and he's almost gone. For the master comes, and the foolish crowd cannot quite understand the worth of his soul and the change that's wrought by the touch of the master's hand. Thank you.